Okay, I'm still sitting in the same place and looking at the same camera. If you see a little bug down here, I've got a new little microphone. You hear me touching it. It's a little tiny lecturer's microphone. It's real close to my mouth. It goes back and hooks over my ear. So if you see a little something funny there, that's what that is. That's a little microphone that gives me a little bit better audio. But anyway, you know how I like to get out and be in a quiet place to do my videos. And you hear way in the background, you can hear a car down on the highway maybe. This little microphone is pretty sensitive. You probably pick that up. But it bothers me to be in a place that's very, very noisy and trying to do a video like this. To me, I do better when I'm out in a quiet area. So I seek out quiet places. You'll know that if you've watched many of my videos. So I'm in another quiet place today. This place is one of the most unique places, well, I guess you could say, in the world. And the history of this place, these surrounding woods. I'm sitting at the base of a small mountain here. You can see all the trees in the background. It falls off down that way into a valley. There's some more ridges and mountains around here. Again, I'm in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains down in the southeastern United States. It falls off into a valley down here in a little creek and whatever. But what makes this place so unique, there's a huge cave that I'll have a picture of. I took a video of outside the cave and inside the cave. This thing has two huge openings to it that open, I guess, 100, 150 feet wide and maybe 50, 75 feet high. And there's a creek runs out of it. And this is still a very remote area. But the uniqueness of this place and what makes it something that would match anything in the world is that the Smithsonian Institution, I guess, came in here years ago and did an archaeological study of this area. Went back into the mouth of this cave and dug down for numbers of feet, way down, and started finding artifacts. And it was known that Native Americans were in this area when whites came into this area. Some intermarried. I'm part Cherokee. A lot of the people that live here are part Native American. But anyway, they were here before white men. And what we didn't know was how long they had been here before white men. But when they started digging down in this cave, they dug down and they had ways to date how far they are. They dug down and they said we're back 1,000 years, which is pretty unique. Real quickly, they went back to the time of Christ. They went back 2,000 years after not going down very far at all. They kept digging. They kept finding. They'd find bones and pottery and weapons and tools, implements, and just anything that native people would have used for their life in that cave. To make the story not as long as I usually do, they kept digging down. They went past 5,000 years. They went past 7,000 years. When they stopped digging down several feet in the soft dirt back in the mouth of this cave, some of the artifacts they got out of the cave could be accurately dated going back to 10,000 years ago. Now, that's hard to imagine. You know, it's hard to imagine going back to the time of Christ, but it's real hard to think about going back 10,000 years. But they were civilized humans living just a little way down behind me here in that cave, proven fact, back to 10,000 years ago. Now, some people might say, well, they're cavemen. I don't think they were Neanderthal. Of course, I don't suppose they were advanced as we were. They for sure hadn't developed the technology up to where anything like where we have now. But they lived and were civilized and raised families and hunted and grew crops out in the flatlands out here in front of the cave and lived in those caves. And it's been due to the dig, they found it was a continuous occupation of this one cave back in the side of this mountain, the mouth of it mainly. It's been in continuous occupation for at least 10,000 years. Now, you know that goes back to the time of the Egyptian pyramids. Now, around this area, there are some mounds. We had some Indians, Native Americans here that would build mounds to maybe put their houses up on a higher elevation, or a burial mound where they buried their dead, or maybe a ceremonial mound. No pyramids around here, of course. But these people were here living in this cave when the pyramids were being built in ancient Egypt. That's where I am today, and that's what makes this place so special. I'll see you later.